Good morning. My deepest apologies. We are having troubles with the webinar platform, but now it looks like we're okay. So could you do me a favor? Put in the chat area and tell me that you can see me. So I'm pretty sure that we can. I'm just waiting for Peter. We just had some hard time getting into the room, so I apologize. There we go. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Joe. How are you this morning?
I'm great now. The platform, as always, not always here, but every once in a while, you know, we struggle with these platforms. But anyway, we're in now. It's great. That's where we are.
Excellent.
All right. If you just let me, first of all, just say good morning to everyone. And I need to open up this other area here so I can see the control panel. And there we go. All right. I just want to make sure I see people in the chat. If we can actually see a chat box and that the people are here. Let me see. If you could chat in that box. Yes, there we go. Susie's saying good morning. Peter, why don't you say good morning for a minute? I'll be right with us.
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day. Sorry about the little technical glitch, but we're going to still have a fantastic webinar anyway. Get you guys lots of information, and you are going to benefit, I believe, greatly from what the information that we're going to share with you today. So we're excited to be here. It's going to be an exciting webinar.
Now, Peter, I'll just remind everybody that this is also being recorded. And the way you see that recording is on YouTube. And after you are finished, if you have registered, you will get a replay link. If you have any problems, you can get back to me at the New Breakfast Club at earthlink.net. But you should see it on YouTube, and you'll get a replay link. So let's get started. Let me just once again say good morning to everyone. Welcome, and we are excited. And Peter, welcome to you, and thanks for being here on the Breakfast Club. So let's just get started with a couple of things. This call is not about a lecture or hype or talking, about how to be better, how to build your business. It's about a change in the industry. And today you're going to meet, you already have really, met the founder, the innovator, the serial entrepreneur, the thinker behind what you're going to hear today. Now, a number of you have already heard about Kula Brands. What you don't know is the future. And we're going to talk about that because I want to talk today, Peter, about a paradigm. And every so often, someone comes along with an idea, or maybe even an improvement on an idea that changes everything. And for the past 50 years in the home business industry, working from home, MLM, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, people talked about residual income. And that's the dream that everybody's chasing. You know, you were told to work hard. Sell the product, sell the dream, talk to everybody you know, make all your lists, and you'll just create a residual income that'll last forever. And they talked about helping you. How many times, Peter, do you know in our careers that we have had people say, I'm going to help you? They bring people into their company and register them, and next thing you know, they're forgotten about.
Oh, yeah, it's every time. I mean, it's a pattern of just the same old, the same talk, the same results, and it doesn't matter. And I don't think that they mean it in a bad intention way. It's just that the model right now is broken and it needs to be repaired. And that is that the model needs to be set up where somebody can benefit from their own actions. And that's something that's very hard to achieve in the home-based business or in any industry at this point, where you can achieve something big just on your own actions. The other thing is we set ourselves up in the home-based business industry. It's the expectations that we set going into it, and it's just kind of a natural thing where people get excited and they look for the person that's achieved the most the fastest, and that's what gets promoted to everyone like it's simple to do, instead of looking at those as an anomaly. I think if you look at it, yeah, there are people that can run a 4-minute mile, but it's a very small percentage of the population. And so if you get everybody to believe, to think, oh yeah, everyone can run a 4-minute mile, then there's going to be a lot of disappointed people out there. And that's what has happened so far in the industry, is that the expectation of when people go into these opportunities has been set wrong. And so when the results are not achieved, people simply walk away, quit, go do something else, because they don't look at it as in, wait a minute, they told me the wrong expectations. They look at it as in if they failed personally themselves, and and then they take a negative effect on whether they're able to actually succeed in the opportunity.
Well, I'm going to ask this question, and people please don't put this in writing up here and answer it. I'm asking you for yourself. How many of you ever got to the goal that you wanted to get to? Let's call it even 1,000 a month, 5,000, 10,000. I mean, that's what they sell. That's what the industry has sold for 50 or 60 years. So how many of you ask yourself that question? Did you get there? The answer is really very simple. Probably a few. But as you heard so many times before, 95% of the people receive little or no income at all. And why is that statistic really a reality? The other is, why do you keep on trying? Are you chasing a ghost, really, as Peter just basically said? But you have to congratulate the people who do keep trying. The truth is this: you keep doing the same thing that you've been doing in business. You keep choosing the same thing over and over again. As you know, you're going to end up in the same place. And I like to say it this way. It's an old Chinese proverb that I kind of put in my own words, and it says, be careful the direction you're going. You may end up where you're headed. So this is why we're here today. Something very, very big is happening in the home business industry. And for those of you who have partaken this early in the game, you're very lucky to hear and to be here, with Peter Gantner, who will officially announce in a minute. But that's why you're here today. Now, there's a paradigm shift happening as we speak. It's happening now. It's been happening for a little while, because basically Peter Gantner is causing this to happen. But what I want to talk about is the paradigm. What really is a paradigm? There's a woman named Marilyn Ferguson who wrote a book, Peter, and it's called The Aquarian Conspiracy. And here's what she says in her book about a paradigm. Paradigm is a framework of thought, a scheme for understanding and explaining certain aspects of reality. Now, the book that I'm going to recommend that everybody read is called Paradigms: The Business of Discovering the Future by Joel Arthur Barker. And here's what he says. He said, let me put this in my own words here. A paradigm is a set of rules and regulations, with written or unwritten, that does two things. One, it establishes or defines boundaries. And two, it tells you how to behave inside those boundaries in order to succeed. Networking is a paradigm, right? Compensation plans are basic paradigms, according to Joel. They operate in a certain set of rules and regulations that does two things. It establishes and defines those boundaries and tells you how to behave to be successful. Now, the problem is most are not being successful, as we just said. Do you think maybe, just maybe, the paradigm doesn't really work? What you've been told over and over again doesn't work. How could it be that when 95% are not successful? How could there be a great paradigm here to follow? Now, 10 years ago, I met Peter Gantner, a little bit more than 10 years. He was a speaker. He was on stage. He was the #1 income earner in the company. And it was my first convention with that company. And I'm watching this guy on stage, and I'm seeing him, talking about success, motivating. The whole room was so excited that day. I don't know if I ever told you this before, but that whole room was so excited with your talk. And I knew there was something special about you that day. Like I said, he was the top income earner in the company. I made it a point to seek him out. I met his brother, David. I got to Peter. We talked for a while, and there was a connection with David and I and Peter. And over these last 10 years, I kept staying in touch, and vice versa. He'd call me once in a while, and we talk about business. And this is what I learned. I learned the heart of this man. I learned exactly who he was without ever having to sit down to dinner, lunch, or hang out with him. Because we were across the country, so we couldn't do that. But this is what I learned, because anytime I called him about an opportunity, whether he joined with me or not, he always said, "Something's wrong in here, Joe. Something's wrong in the industry. When I can make money, I can be a top income earner, and I can't get a whole group of people to follow. Why is that 95% still there?" And he said, "I'm going to find out one day. I'm going to figure this thing out where everybody could get paid, and it won't take finding a superstar to do it. And it won't take being a superstar to do it. Everyone should be have the same opportunity to get paid, but we have to have a system." And that's where the paradigm shift began, with his thinking about how the companies themselves would operate to cause that to happen. Look, we can teach communication. I teach a communication class. I believe people have to change, Peter, their dialogue. I think they have to stop trying to give everybody all the information up front. We've been taught that for years. I think you have to find the interested party. I think you have to have them curious for a little bit, to make them or help them look at your opportunity and look at your information. But I also believe that they have to learn how to be professional when finding those people. But that's only part of the problem. We're part of the program. The other part was finding the company who thought like Peter did. And finally, I don't know, it's got to be a couple months ago that when I spoke to Peter, I saw something on Facebook, and I called him, and we talked, and it just so happened they were launching this company. And he told me, "Joe, go look. Go look at this. I want you to see this. Something new is happening. I figured something out." And I said, "Okay." And I saw this presentation. I saw the Kula Brands company. I saw the reverse royalty. I didn't even know that crowdfunding existed in the magnitude that it did. And when he explained it to me, I think he'll tell you, before I talked on the next morning, I was registered. I saw something really special. And it takes a special person to do that. Now, I don't believe in, this mutual admiration society. I'm telling you that I very rarely get on and sing the praises of an individual that doesn't deserve it. But Peter Gantner deserves it. He's a pioneer in this industry, and a paradigm shift is happening, a shift in the thinking of the way we operate inside that paradigm. So I realize people have met you, and a lot of people here know you, Peter, but some people that are new probably don't know your heart. And what motivated this whole thing was, I want to help people. I truly want to have a company where everybody has the opportunity, and we can create that within the company, within the corporation, to be able to help those people, whether they recruited or didn't recruit, whether they marketed or didn't market. We could still help them and give everybody the opportunity to make money. That's what got me. It was the heart of your heart that said, "I'm helping everybody this time." And I knew one day you'd figure this out, and you really have. So without further ado, Peter Gantner is clearly a pioneer in this industry, and I am so excited to be a part of this, Peter. I appreciate that you included me, and I'm thrilled to death to be here with you. So, Peter Gantner, welcome to the Breakfast Club, and thank you.
Well, thank you, Joe. It's amazing to have you as part of what we're doing. You know, the one key that we figured out is that a lot of the companies out there, I think their intentions are good, but their understanding of what they're doing is wrong. They think that, you know, their number one product, their number one asset is the vitamin, the skincare, you know, the technology, whatever it is that they're promoting. But really, when you start talking home-based business industry, the number one asset, the number one value thing that you have is the people that actually stand up and say, hey, I want to be part of this. I want to be in this. So it doesn't matter what your product is. Your real product in the home-based business industry are people. That's the number one thing. And that's what we understand at Kula Brands, is that the number one asset that we have are the people who stand up and say, you know what, we are going to put our time, effort, and energy. You asked a very interesting question. Why do people keep doing it? Because money today is such an important part of our society. And for the average person, there's not a lot of options out there to build an income that would set them free. A lot of people make a good living, they can build up over time, but this idea of you know, having it happen much quicker is very appealing to a lot of people, and they want their dreams, their desires, their goals are much bigger than what they could go and earn. It doesn't matter if they're making $40 an hour or $50 an hour. When you look at what they want and the desires that they want, because they're having to give up their time in order to earn that money on a consistent basis, a lot of it just does not allow them to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. And so when I sat down and I looked at this, and we went from a company to another company to another company, and then I started looking at all the other successful people that I noticed, that I knew, and they were also going from company to company. So there was a disconnect there. One was that you could build residual income that would last you a lifetime if you only put in 2 to 5 years. Well, I don't know any leaders in the industry. I know some leaders that are doing very well with companies. They make a good amount of money, but they still work every single day, or they're still putting time in their team. They're still out building their organization, because the idea is you can make a lot of money in the home-based business industry if you're part of the smaller percentage that actually goes out and achieves success. But it is not a walk-away income, and that's okay if you love doing the process of the home-based business industry. You love being around people, you love building teams, you love doing that type of stuff, and you're willing to learn how to be successful. You know, it's interesting. A lot of times people will get in and they'll bring this person up and go, look how much money they're making, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month. What they don't give you is the backstory on that person. They'll say, well, they got in, they did it in 5 months. Yeah, they had already been in 7 companies before that, or 3 companies before that, and they built. And this is, again, there's always the exception to the rule. And that is one of the key problems, is you can't look at the exceptions. There's sometimes the stars align for people. They happen to talk to the right person here and the right person here, and it's just magic happens, and it goes crazy. You cannot look at the exceptions. You have to look at the broader picture of it. What does the most people end up with? Where's the most success? The problem is with promoting that to grow your business is that it doesn't give you the momentum, the excitement, the energy. Well, we wanted to create an opportunity that would do that. And in order to do that, when we looked at this, I was actually at an event in November in Dallas, and all the stuff started coming together. So I've had success as well in the traditional marketing business. We've been in Forbes magazine, the Wall Street Journal, Entrepreneur magazine, for marketing and branding products. So we've done some toy products. We were in a Happy Meal, and as well the success that we had had in the home-based business industry. And I thought to myself, what really is the best income source that exists on the entire planet? And it came to me that royalties are absolutely the best income source if you look at it. But the problem is with royalties are they were only available to a very small select group of people. So, there were singers that were extremely talented, maybe an actor, maybe somebody who happened to own a piece of land where there was oil on it and they were getting royalties on their oil, what do you call it? Uh, Natural resources that they were getting off of their property, that type of thing. So it was a very small part of the population. And then I looked at, from my experience in the traditional business, I thought, what's the hardest thing to do for an entrepreneur? It's to start a company. It's to get it going. It's to do, what was necessary, the finances that were necessary in order to launch this. And then in the meantime, I had learned about crowdfunding. And I looked at crowdfunding and I go, this is an amazing thing. Billions of dollars are going to entrepreneurs. And so what I did is basically took those three things, this new way of raising money for projects and the home-based business and the desire for people to want to succeed, to want to be successful out there in the marketplace. And we combined the three of them together, and they came together so well. And that's the concept that I'm going to explain to you here in a second. It's absolutely amazing to me that somebody else did not come up with this prior to us coming up with it. But it is so unique that we've actually now had over 3,000 people look at the concept. A lot of them professionals in the industry, meaning they've been in the industry for 20, 30 years. They've never seen anything like it. We've had people that are consultants in the home-based business industry. They've never seen anything like it. People that are consultants in the regular business industry, they've never seen anything like this. So it is unique and new, and we have filed for a provisional patent right now, and our formal patent will be being filed on this. And the concept is really simple. Take entrepreneurs that need help and need aid in getting their project launched, and take people. You just have to understand, technology have made us little marketing and sales and promotion powerhouses. A matter of fact, when you go out, if you look at the size of an Apple computer today, how did they get that way? The reason why is individual purchases, right? So when you go buy a new device, you're only spending $200 or $300. It doesn't seem like that's a lot of money or a big impact on it. But when you take a lot of people spending $200 or $300, and this is the idea for crowdfunding, all of a sudden now you could have $50 or $100 or $200,000 or even $1 million. And so if you don't know what crowdfunding is, I'll explain it to you real quick. Crowdfunding is a way, reward-based crowdfunding is getting a lot of people to pre-purchase a product, and then the entrepreneur, the inventor, takes that money and then helps develop, manufacture, and produce the product and ships it to the people. So they're actually pre-buying that product. So what we've been able to do is figure out a way, and our patent is actually on what's called reverse royalty through community participation. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to participate in the success of somebody else. And through that success, that successful person is going to pay a royalty. Instead of receiving the royalty, the person who owns the asset, the person who developed it, instead of receiving a royalty, they are actually going to pay a royalty to the community members for helping them do the three things that are necessary in order to succeed in the marketplace. The first one is help them get the money that is necessary to launch the product through reward-based crowdfunding. Secondly, help them do branding and marketing. See, we are the new power of branding and marketing out there in the marketplace, right? The genius marketers today are not the Fifth Avenue advertising guys. It's the internet guys that figure out how to get you to share somebody else's product and not get compensated for it, or get compensated very little for it, because they're getting compensated a lot for getting you to share, and then that gets somebody else to share. So if you can go out and create these viral movements, then you're wealthy, right? You're making a lot of money. The new Fifth Avenue guys are the internet guys, but we can do that as a community. And the third thing is the direct sales market. Now, how do we utilize the direct sales market? See, the direct sales market is a big market, guys. Don't get me wrong. Worldwide, the direct sales market is $300 billion a year estimated worldwide. And so that's pretty big. But you know what? It's a whole bunch of people fishing in the same pool that are there to fish for the same reason, which is to make money. And that's one of the problems with the home-based business industry today. The majority of the income that's generated in that industry is from people that are in the industry to make money. And if you took $1 million and you had, 10,000 people, and they all put in basically $100 each to get to that, then it's limited to how many people can make money in that industry. So you have to, it's like McDonald's. If only the owners and the employees ate at McDonald's, then McDonald's wouldn't be a successful business. You have to bring customers in. You have to leverage your base people to bring in revenue from outside that. So how do we do that? We take the $300 billion direct sales market and use that to leverage the $26 trillion global retail market, meaning we sell the product to help the inventor or the project or the company become successful enough then to go into the mass market and have the product sold on Amazon and eBay. That's right, I said sell it, guys. I mean, that in the home-based business industry, the stuff is being sold on Amazon or eBay for cheaper. That is our goal, guys. Our goal is to detach ourselves eventually from the project, have the project continue to sell, and get paid the reverse royalties. So this is basically how it happens, guys. An inventor, creative person, comes up with an idea. They take that idea to the Cooler Brands community. The Cooler Brands community looks at it and says, we are willing to fund this when it goes to a reward-based crowdfunding, meaning you're simply pre-purchasing the product. Once we have come up with enough interest from our community to fund this 100%, it then goes to the platform, to a platform, meaning it could be Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Rocket Hub. We utilize communities that are already in place. That is expanding beyond. Our community, let's say, does $50,000 in crowdfunding because that's what the project needs. Then we go to a bigger community and do 100, 200, 300, 500,000. We've already brought money beyond what our community is doing to the project. Then that project is developed and shipped. Then in that stage, we start doing the branding and marketing. We start sharing with friends and family and other people that would be interested in the product and with the rest of the world. Then the product gets shipped to all the people who crowdfunded it. Then comes in the direct sales part. Now we are going to help sell that product and keep cash flow coming into the company so they can stay in business long enough then to sell it to the mass market. And through these royalties, see, we have created a model where you never have to recruit or bring in a single person. You can. There is a way to help grow the community and benefit from that growth. But our goal was to make it to where on your own efforts. Now, guess what, guys? I'm going to tell you this, and you don't hear this in a lot of companies. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes time to build businesses. It takes time. It doesn't matter traditional business. It doesn't matter what type of business. If you take out the anomalies, the people that do it overnight, and you look at the broader sense of things, all the companies out there take time for people to build. The majority of successful people took 2 to 5 years to build an organization in the home-based business industry and outside of it. And the problem is those are not the ones that really get promoted up to us. The ones they promote to us because it creates the excitement are the ones who did it overnight or seemed like they did it overnight. Cooler Brands is a 2 to 5, 6 year process for you to build on your own actions. And if you want to go ahead and share it, you can help grow the community and benefit from the actions of others, but on your own actions. And what we talk about is supporting one entrepreneur a month, helping somebody achieve success on a monthly basis, getting their product in the marketplace, and then leveraging that in order to start building small amounts of income, and then it builds up month after month. It continues to build and grow, and you're leveraging this giant global retail marketplace, and then these royalties will continue to build up, and then over time they can become hundreds, thousands of dollars per year, tens of thousands of dollars per year. We're just getting started. We launched February 28th. Our first product just was announced this past Thursday to the marketplace. But I'll tell you, last night I was on the phone, and another incredible product brought to us. Entrepreneurs are lining up because they love this collaborative nature. A matter of fact, if you go to our website, and Joe will get you that information, you can watch a video from a very successful gentleman who just came on board our board. He's a board member. He's an advisor and a consultant to the business, and he is our spokesperson. And this gentleman's name is Jeff Hoffman. Now, you may have not have heard of Jeff Hoffman if you're not an entrepreneur out in the marketplace. But if you are, you've probably heard of him because he's one of the most successful entrepreneurs on our planet today. Built and sold his first company when he was in his 20s for over $100 million. Matter of fact, if you go to the airport and print your own ticket, thank Jeff for that, because that was his first idea, invention, and company that he built. But since then, he's built quite a few companies. One of those companies is a globally recognized brand. It's one of the most recognized brands in the world, and that is a small site out there called Priceline. So he is the co-founder of Priceline, and he has come on board with us. Even though we just started this company, in February 28th is when we did our first phone call and shared this idea, this concept with the world. And the reason why he's come on board is collaboration is the key to the future of society. It is the way that we will begin to interact with technology. Up to this point, the people that have used technology best are companies, and that's the reason why these corporations have become juggernauts and they've become so huge. We, the people, have mainly used, in small businesses, have mainly used technology to make our lives a little easier, for convenience, basically, and for entertainment. But now it's time for us, communities, groups of people, to come together and start using technology for our financial benefit and to set our families up to thrive and to begin to benefit from this change that's out there, which is more of a peer-to-peer marketplace that's taking place. So, and that's what this community is about. That's what Kula Brands is about. It's about saying, look, you don't need the VC, that thing. The lady I talked to last night was actually meeting today with a VC, and it was interesting. They were saying she's put $2 million in her business already, very successful. She's already been very successful in business, and they wanted to put $2 million into her business, into her idea, but they wanted 49% of the company. And then she gets to the point, they also want me to put more of my money into it, because she still has some money. She sold off a business, very successful, and she's like, I don't want to end up like Steve Jobs, end up getting kicked out of my own company. And that's exactly what happens, more than likely, if she does the deal that she was looking at doing. And then we explained to her about the community coming behind her and helping her, and her keeping control of her company, and she just got so excited about what we're doing. Matter of fact, she sent a text afterwards that said, I can't even believe that this would be true, that there's a way for people to get involved in something for $199 one-time cost, and that this opportunity is really available. But it is. It is not too good to be true, guys. We are building a company here where number one is our community. We can find great products like hers, and they will be fantastic when we do, and that's what will generate the income. But the one thing that Kula Brands understands is our number one asset are the people that look at this and say, yes, I want to do this. I want to support and help other people succeed and achieve. on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, however you want to get involved. And so we built this model that on your own actions, you can actually build a successful business. You don't have to. It drives me crazy in the industry when I hear the people that are successful refer to people who don't make it as they just didn't do what it took. Well, they weren't willing to go out and do what was necessary in order. I know now that is true. Some people don't do what it takes. Some people don't go out and do what they need to do. They don't take a course like what you've taught, Joe, on how to be a professional in the industry, how to contact and invite. They are doing it wrong. But there are people who do it right and that are out being persistent and are, they talk to 100 people. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. And, they will go through everyone they know and talk to them about it. And whether it's they weren't trained right or whether they don't have the right resources, they still can't seem to make it happen. And maybe you're watching this right now and you're like, I've done that. I've talked to a lot of people. I've, company after company, and I actually got people in, and momentum started to build, and my group started to grow, and then it just crumbled and fell apart. Again, bad expectations to start with, bad results. It's the quick and easy way for companies to grow, so they leverage and they lock onto that, and that's ultimately what ends up being they've actually signed off on the failure of most people and the company, possibly even by the way they promoted it to get the company going. And so we're excited to be here, and we're excited that we're able to bring this opportunity to people. We're just getting started. And in the next few years, this is going to Kula Brands will become a household name. There'll be symbols and logos all over stores. Our goal is to have thousands of products that we've leveraged as a community, help them get them started. And now these products are being sold not just in some stores, but every type of store you can imagine. The hardware stores, the general stores, convenience stores. They're being sold on online sites of all different types. And these products are literally doing hundreds of billions of dollars in sales, paying tens of billions of dollars of royalties out to the community for the efforts that they've done.
Peter, I'm going to ask some people if they want ask some questions. I have the chat open so that people we can see them publicly if people would like to ask some questions. However, as they do that, remember there's a 30-second delay by the time you get your question up there. But Peter, look, you're absolutely right. There are people out there who continue to work, who continue to do the right things. And the key to the success here for me was immediately seeing that, and you said this, that just by participating, 3 ways. The one way where, hey, you don't have to recruit, you really don't have to participate in marketing and branding, just by purchasing or pre-purchasing the product that, there's going to be thousands of products here. You can choose whichever one you like. You can choose 10 of them. Certainly what I know Peter stresses this. Don't just do it to make money. Do it because you like the product. People don't buy things because they think they're going to, especially not going to be successful, in thinking they're going to buy something just to make money. We want people to buy the products and be involved in that product because they want the product. And a lot of people are sitting out there today in that 95%. We run into people all the time, and we can figure that most people are in that bracket, obviously. And they just keep trying and trying. And this paradigm shift, once again, I can't stress enough to get that book. Again, it's by Joel Barker, and it's called Paradigm, The Business of Discovering the Future. Let me read something to you. This is some of the quotes in the beginning of the book. And I was listening to Jeff's audio again last night from the announcement a couple weeks ago, last week. And just as you touched on, this is the guy responsible for being able to walk into an airport and print your own ticket. Walk up, push the buttons, and get your ticket instead of waiting in line and then get down into the down into your where your planes arrive. You would get down and actually get checked in. But printing your ticket was a big deal. But here, listen to some of the people here who understand the paradigm shifts that happen. And one of those paradigm shifts happened to be the Swiss, who made the best watches in the world. Everybody knew that when we were growing up. Having a Swiss watch was unbelievable. They dominated the marketplace. 65% of the watches sold back in the 60s were all Swiss watches. Everybody bought or at least wanted them. The problem is, all of a sudden, their domination collapsed. And the reason that Joel talks about in here, that when it collapsed, why did it collapse? It was because they did not recognize a paradigm shift. They ran into one. And it was a change in the fundamental rules of watchmaking. This is the fundamental change in the way business, and especially networking, has run over all these years. This is a fundamental shift on how to be paid. So I encourage you to read this book, but let me just read a couple of these. Paradigms is a secret weapon. I'm buying a copy for each of my customers and suppliers, but none of my competitors. Congratulations, Joel Barker, on creating this breakthrough book. Harvey Mackay, author of Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive and Shark Proof. If you know who Ken Blanchard is, he's the author of The 1 Minute Manager. No other book offers each of us a clear vision of the changes that will affect us most dramatically in the coming decade. Now here's an interesting one. Must reading for any organization where business as usual won't cut it anymore. Roger Dow, Vice President, Sales and Marketing, Marriott Hotels and Resorts. Look, I could go on and go on. Thrifty Rent-A-Car. Required reading for every 2 years. Paradigms is not just a business book or a book of business principles, but a mind-jarring awakening for anyone from athletes to homemakers. Look, Cooler Brands is a mind-opening experience. It's a paradigm shift on the way people have been taught to run a business in the, call it MLM, networking, home business arena. It's a shift. And if you really want to understand it and you really want to partake, get involved. There's an old saying that says, tell me and I'll hear, show me and I'll see, but get me involved and I'll understand. And the people that have gotten involved here early, Peter, are understanding this paradigm shift, this way of thinking, this new way of thinking, how everybody can benefit and be successful. So thanks for being here. I want to see if we have...
No problem. We do have a couple questions. One is they're trying to understand it. We purchase products from New, and this is from Charlie, and that's how we get paid. It's one of the three ways. Yes, absolutely. We support entrepreneurs. We help pre-do it. Charlie, if you don't understand crowdfunding, you may want to get an understanding of that, but there is a presentation for you to watch that'll walk you through the entire process. That is probably the best way. The one thing I encourage is get the whole picture, and that is probably by watching the presentation that's out there. And then The Great Gatsby, basically in a nutshell, $199, no recruiting involved. You can if you want to, but you don't have to, and that's the beauty of it. And you can build a royalty cash flow off of that. And the networking is optional, meaning growing a team. The one neat thing is we have people that have never been able to, or they've had minimum success in bringing people in, but because of the fact we had a gentleman was it yesterday or day before, who had been in a couple other companies, had not had the success, was very disappointed, but yet when he found out it was $199 one time, and then if he didn't want to, he never had to spend any other additional money. And if he was going to spend money, he'd be buying something and receiving a product for that he liked, by the way, guys, at a market price that is the same as it would be if it was sold at a Walmart or on an Amazon and that type of thing. One of the big problems with the industry is the high prices to support comp plans for the big guys to make money. It's like saying, hey, you can buy this down the street for $2, but you should buy it from me because I'm your friend. To some people who are well off and who have lots of money, that actually may make some sense, right? If it's my, if my mom was buying it from me, okay, from my son, he's going to make some money off it, maybe. And that is a maybe. But for the most part, people want value. And there lies one of the problems with today's home-based business industry. I'm paying more money off of it to support comp plans so people can make more money versus me getting value for it. The reason why McDonald's is as big as it is why? Is because it delivered value and convenience in food, not quality, right? Value and convenience in food, and that's why they've become a success. It's as successful as they have. And so that's one of the things the industry needs to understand. There needs to be a balance between value to the consumer and value to the business builder, the person with the comp plan. And that's what we've reconciled here. Our products are going to be sold, when you purchase them, you're purchasing at a price that is going to work in the regular marketplace with or without a comp plan behind it. People aren't standing there just going, well, okay, my cousin's, no, it's a value. Is this the same as Smash Fund? I am involved, but I am not involved, but curious. No, this is not like Smash Fund. And there's actually one question in between that, but I'll answer this question. Smash Fund is simply a crowdfunding platform that is collecting money from other individuals and then redistributing it back out and with an algorithm and different stuff out to other people. And so there's a monthly cost to be involved with that in order to get compensation from what is. I'm not going to say whether it's wrong or right. That's for people to decide when they look at it. Our model is about leveraging the global marketplace. That is still a pool. It's the same people, a bunch of fish all going around, all trying to survive in this little small. We're a small pond that's going out to fish, where we're getting ours is from the broader marketplace. We're leveraging. That's a key word, guys. If you talk to wealthy people and people that have made it, the reason why is they have leveraged themselves or their talent or a product or a service or other people extremely well. And that's what needs to be done. Is we're leveraging a bunch of people that are getting value from the product, and then we, the smaller group, are benefiting financially from that. So that's a huge, huge difference. So thank you, Charlie, for the question. The Great Gatsby also has another one. What we know is that there have been hundreds of crowdfunding MLMs. Not one has made it. All gone. No one's popping. New ones popping up. We are not a crowdfunding MLM. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of what we do. We are not an MLM crowdfunding company. Let's see. Reason being, it was just a Ponzi of raising money and dividing it out without a business plan behind it. Yeah, so we are not that, guys. We are simply saying let's use that as part of our mechanism in order to help launch legitimate products in the marketplace. What we want is when somebody goes, every dollar that is being generated and that is actually going out to the community is being created by the sale of products, revenue coming into a company, and then a slice of that being cut off. As a matter of fact, we do not pay any, the $199 that is brought into the company that you're going to pay, that is going to help provide services to you by the company. It doesn't go to your friend. So if you looked at this and you go, wow, I want to do this, your $199 is not going to be split up between 5 people who all had something to do with you coming in. That's here to provide a service to you guys so we can do the best job possible. I'm going to ask you guys a question that have been in the industry before and have been with companies. How many of you guys have ever been called within a week of joining that company or 2 weeks and it was the company calling you saying, hey, can we help you? Here's some phone numbers. Here's stuff on the website. Thank you for joining our company. So if you guys in the chat, if you guys can actually answer that question, it'd be great. How many of you guys been contacted? If you're part of Cooler Brands, you've gotten a call, because we reach out to our community because we understand you are the most important asset. And how can you leave your most important asset sitting out there and not make contact with them from the company there and expect simply that the people who are in between them is going to do that work, right? We connect with you because you are the most valuable asset that Cooler Brands will ever have moving forward from there. So guys, we are excited to be a part of this. I'd love, just please take a look at it, see what we're doing. If nothing else, you'll at least see the future of where business and where everything else is going. Collaboration is the key. Bringing people together for a common cause, around a common interest, around a common goal, is the future of our society, and technology is allowing that to happen. And so I'm excited to have your time to sit here and listen to me. I thank you for that, and I hope that when you look at this, you want to come on board, and we can serve you in the best way possible and help you achieve your goal. So let's see, we might have another question. You shared with people about Facebook, Google, Twitter, etc., and imagine if they had paid you for that. Yes, absolutely. Very good thing is, and we're doing it today. If you look at sharing stuff on your wall, we share a cute story, but when people click on that, there's actually ads on those stories, and they're usually marketing a product that might have something to do with that story. They're creating revenue. We're sharing it because it's like, oh yeah, look, Jimmy got this, or this happened. But there are people that are making revenue off of us sharing that. All we're doing is saying, hey, get in on this, but not in the way that other people have done it before. Oh, here's an ad business where you go out and you sell ads, and people pay money every month to be part of this ad business, and then over time you generate this income. It's from the sale of the products that are taking place. There is always commerce taking place. There is always somebody receiving value for the money that is being spent when you're receiving compensation for what we're doing. And that's a huge key, is that value is always presented, value is received, and then money, compensation, goes out to the community. That is one of the core principles of the Cooler Brands model in allowing people to succeed. So Joe, I thank you so much for having me on here and for giving me the opportunity to share this, buddy. I thank you so much for being involved and for making the decision to come on board. You've been a great friend over the years, and just a true inspiration to a lot of people. We appreciate you so much and everything that you're doing to help so many people and leading them to the right place, the right company. So again, buddy, thank you very much for having me on.
Hey, thank you. And I want to say a couple things before we go, and then we'll bring Mark in for a second. But I gotta tell people this. Look, this is the first company in 22 years I've been with that truly it's a community effort. That means if someone in this company creates excitement, is building a team that actually is not directly, let's call it, under me, it doesn't matter, because just what you said, the overall sales of the product, if I am in that pool of royalties, I am going to benefit. I want to help everyone, which is why we decided we have been restructuring the Breakfast Club to be able to bring this new paradigm shift to people, to be able to talk something different. And this is the first re-entry of the Breakfast Club into the market again, because we wanted people to understand what this company stood for. And this is the first time that you'll be able to participate in a company, and regardless of whether someone that has not been influenced by you is doing something for the company and creating sales and marketing and crowdfunding, you're still going to benefit as long as you're in that royalty pool. That is the most amazing thing to me. And secondly, I'm going to put you on the spot. and ask you if you could return again, hopefully next week. And what we will do is ask people, come back here and listen to Peter again. And hopefully one day we can get Jeff Hoffman to come in and participate and come in and speak to people. You listen to that 20-minute talk that he had, it will blow your mind, and I encourage people to do it. The next thing I want to say is, if you are not with Cooler Brands right now and you want information, here's the beauty of this. The company has set up, if you actually were in the company and were kind of, couldn't even remember who influenced you to be there, the company will find that person for you. And I'm saying the same thing here. If you want information, and let's assume someone did not influence you to be on this call, send an email to thenewbreakfastclub@earthlink.net and say, I need information. We will find out, and you can put in there who sponsored you, who influenced you, who asked you to be here, and we will get you to that person. We will find out who it is. So send an email and say, this is what I want, information, I want to find the person, whatever it is. The New Breakfast Club at earthlink.net will handle that for you. And I'm excited about people, understanding what this company is all about. And, like I said, tell me and I'll hear, show me and I'll see. But when you get involved, you'll understand. With that, again, Peter, thanks for being here. Mark, you got your mic on?
Yes, I have it on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, and thanks for helping me this morning get this. I don't know what happened back in the back office today, but the link wasn't working to get us live. But we're there now and have been, and this is a great call. I thought maybe you'd want to close us. Mark Stevens is also an entrepreneur for many years. He is an account specialist and a financial guy who we have, first time ever that 2 years ago, I asked someone to be involved and be a partner on the Breakfast Club. It's the only person in 18 years of the Breakfast Club that I've ever had as a co-presenter, a co-partner, and so on. So Mark Stevens, I thought maybe you'd want to say a few things and close out the call. Thanks, okay, everybody, for being here.
I'm going to say this real quick. First of all, I'd like to thank Peter for, and welcome Peter to the Breakfast Club. Because, when Joe told me about this opportunity, he mentioned about Peter and integrity. And just before the call, when we were trying to get in, I was listening to Jeff Hoffman, the 20-minute video that's on our website. And a couple of things that he said that I think we all need to understand is two things. First of all, time is your most precious asset. And second, the integrity on both sides. And that's what Joe told me about Peter, his integrity. And that's one of the greatest things with me is integrity, because you can get money, as we know, by hook or crook, but a good name is something that's hard to get back. And the other thing I want to say is that get yourself educated about Cooler Brands, because it's an opportunity, like one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, because, again, when Joe introduced it to me and I started reading, before 10 minutes in, I said, I'm in. I don't have to hear anymore or read anymore. And I called Joe back and said, okay, I'm in. This is an opportunity that doesn't come every day. And I know that some of you don't know about crowdfunding. I know quite a bit about it. But the thing about it is this: you have three aspects that you don't have in any other company. And that's the thing, is when you have the best of all three worlds, you can't miss with it. And when you have somebody like Jeff Hoffman to come in and be a part of it, it takes it to a whole another level. If you just his background tells you that, and what he thinks about Peter, he doesn't need the money. But what he said that I love the most is that one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I want to touch people around the world and give them an opportunity, and that's what my life has been about. So that's what's so exciting about this. So, and Peter has given us that opportunity. So Peter, I personally want to say again, thank you. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. And Joe, I'm going to kind of leave it at that and look forward to next week and say, everybody, bring some people with you. Invite some people, as many as you can, because this is life-changing. And if you want to change your life, here's an opportunity to do it. And as Peter said, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. but I say it's a way to get wealthy slowly. But the thing about it is that, you know, a lot of people are losing their retirement. They're, you know, and they're getting their retirement cut. This is something that'll be there for as long as you'll be a part of this community, and it's a great community to be in. So with that saying, thank everybody for being here. Peace and blessings. So you go out and make it a great day and make it a Cooler Brands day. And again, get educated about what Cooler Brands is really about, and you can change a lot of lives. So Joe, thank you for letting me have that space.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks, Peter, again, and thank everyone for being here, because without the community, as we know, Peter and Mark, this does not happen. So we want to take the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club was, it's over 18, 20 years old, and it's an educational portal where people learn. And we will not just be talking about, you know, how Cooler Brands started, and this next week we are going to talk about the future of Cooler Brands, the future, where it's going, what the possibilities are. And hopefully Peter can join us to do that, and maybe Doug can, his partner can help us, and so on. And we'll. But I want to encourage you to come to the Breakfast Club. We are going to be doing educational things here that will help you grow the community. So with that, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here, and we will look forward to seeing you next week again at the Breakfast Club. Goodbye, everybody.